May San Francisco ki bura-bura. Sema main gai wase yani.
Totokna to moi turanga nei tata ito bagdi wa gerto na nona mati laulau no bula ndele indulebi vekenda na kabide veng grabe na isa wana nabu chukuna bitokani na radio mbulan do bat karu chukuna wasi non do bitokani na kabida ni kuwa bi mamando no vekenda na lima ka sange sia mama yalo binaka wasia tunga ni geng non to batu bale lebu mente to mai lebu sara ken dono milyon sara na vea kabi kena lebu sa kena binaka saranga abang bulu cukup be erto na siamo cukup men city kami da mai lau toka bulu binaka jole suma kena nomuni bu vale bakata lagi na be nei tatau bulu binaka maramani yao engo egi joy na wanga ni bulu binaka na siamo cukup Santa Rosa na kabe de be ngarabi dai abang ni binaka talanga be birisila tubo ni singani belum nak bersila tu boni singani mai Mackay mai Queensland mai Australia belum nak bersila benak na siamo cuma nak bilang ni ko bakal laki be ati leo tu bakal ni benak na siamo bukan nomini siamo cuma pango American Samoa bakal laki na bertu na gangs ni Rawa Production ni belum nak malo bakal besar bakal rakai nak na siamo cuma na bilang ni ko kemudian mati lau main dau bitamba mai da non da bunola mai ni vici klanir tondo abogador le usar na vitamba na signi sudu na sona vala putu na vala mate ke na punga tali na songo leweso to satu varautu na Rawa Production abo ni bina berto ni to siama tal chunga mai na kabiri vingrabe ndai abo ta chubi kemni ndo na mate ni wasi oyan non takan Untakan na vea kabi. Rua na kali lebu go enta sa dalate chuk sali lebu sa rasalen ke chukino. Ko pag uli ka pag malo tali. Oya na pa kay kabi. Au ka sinka chuni go mule wai nangon no muni pa kabi. Au do wa vital no chika kita no ka gunda nangon lela ka sau chu tu no chinga. Na no do riri na ku na we kandar do pag tali pag lawar ngendo litu. Na buno ni pag don tak ni ndo suka mai o chindu rua na mbaki. Re na ngon re. Baka nga na pipi ko atu na bitabo lengwe ay yo yangon na kana na kena ngonon dun zaka ya babala mo na kena ngonon dun yanra kana mo basar tu nga ya babala tu neng yo kenda todo keda dun menta patu ya sanga ya watu ni juga ni ngoni bakaya bi waki na lima ya ke baka ndo mo na walu ya ke baka mo na chini kendua kana na walu kenda tu sando dalo cuma dapat bina turang tu sando le sipi tu na chini ke ruang gele bakata tu na kento pa kabi tu gele mo nga boleh tu yang rangamai sa dasar cunga be na ngon tu ya sa batu manta pa ya tu sange singa ningaru na sais ni katundu kenya na kabi o manta nga ure tu cungo au sa bangango Ortungo sabi na kataga undo baka singin do ba tango na American Scientist Association ortutugo na ke baka mendo na size lele tundo ni kaka no kanya mai na mataga le singalebu ke na kai me kale le tundo ko kanya na kai yo kanira rawo chigo mo zabuta bandondo ko saranga ko ngendo mountain tundo o pambuta na kai kita sakila bina tu ndon me breakfast like a king kena kalele tundu na kavi like a queen lunchtime kena wakasar dona pepe lelai na kavi kento sabi sa utak juga kombe ka sa lele buchugi na weekend sa senga tu matin indai pala tanengonta mentam bo pala tu so tapir lalai enduro tu mantanga ya pala tu cha sa tagay laki der tu unengona kena kana tapako na vikayabi nakatuto ko kenta taka bangana in moderation e bina kair do tu na papala nge nduanga nambilo waini se nduanga nambilo mbia vai kabi mode na be set toga yo kenta tu ko ketu sando pala tu sa wala tsara me chen do na taka ko ya sa robi kenta nga mai kina na bi matangalimat ke baka simpera matangan ndangol na bulumbulu enta sa wakila sar nga mai bi kenta na mat walenga nda sa ongo mai enda bu enta sa oda lek senta sa dingoda libu na kaba sa do bikenda chugo sa na ke siang tal ni balance bina kana kenta kakan o baka sama ta mo sa ngunu butu bina ngono kani mena tabak ngi taunda ku ni ruwa baya sanga lindo tu na kemu buaka moli rocket ko ka uro ya do male ka sa tu ngabikenda yo ya Atu sana musuh kecil bagalilai. Artu satu guna talangangko. Kaya kau bina kata mumbula binaka. Ia na kabi, mo vai kabi no vai kina lima. Kaya na sais ni kemu kaka na kemu. Me kalelai tundu a mai virau na rua rosa ochi mai na matagalilai kaya na singaleu. O iau roni vimba wati kira tungo. Kalau kenta então na kabi. Tu sa oda tu mo na takataka. O chami ngai sulinga ni vikentu indo na sandwich. Dona sandwich lelai. Changa indo na kena biluti. Ya tu sa vimba ya. Uka me uchi tu ina sing na takataka o tereni tu yan. Mungkin lah kata lain mertungi tu kuntal suka bangko na buniwai. Kaya kau vina kata suka na nomumbula. Me nambala bu nendeli buru-buronggo. Yo baka murianggo. Vai kabi na vaki na lima. Na sa istalangani kemu kakana. Me sa lelai sarngai. Eu sa bangko. Eu sa vina kata kebi o musa ando mondali ngayan. Ya kabina kaya, kabina. Vai kabina vaki na lima. Doga na sandwich do na bilowai. Ai tubo na kuro. Ya na kartu tu na buniwai. Ena be dato ka bikendan.
Eva kanando moni bakatangi. Non darundaungan di taua Nomung olean India Au ruirarawat hakandina Nabe bosako atukuna Au ambole Atekina Yesa sambo no gulewa No mundo yani Mai tagina ya longu Ebu kumule yani No down the money How wrong all the nam no money Eva kanan the money bakatani No darun daun andi taurua No mungole yan India Aurui rarawat hakandina Nabe bosako atukuna Au ambole matekina Yesa sombo nongu lewa No mundo yani Mai tangi na yang lo Ebu kumule andi Yes I'm no down the money Au wrong on the now the money Eva kanando moni bakatangi Non darun daungan di taua Yesa sambon nonggu lewa Aurong bodan daun domoni Nabe wasako atukuna Awambole matekina Yesa sombo nongu lewa No mundo yani Mai tangi na
wakatau tunga veia Turang kena maram tu rugi nongon elok. Toto kena temu turang neta. Sebebe peni senyasi be kenta na kabi nangani ku au tangi lo ni ndau na numi kemu ni voto be kenta tinika me ona kolok me nono me adobo tiga ni na bima maniono me baka singa buku lul tiga ni time bima maniono santo rongo cikina be kenta nonta programu arta wa mbito batu be kenta arta na songo lotu New Methodist Christian Fellowship nongu tisu nongu benua ninguém nama katoka moya nandua na ngauna leka moya ngo pedi la nopo no monindo bingarabi na radio bulan do vanta ni sambulu binagamai
Yavalata deo nangai velata na radio bulan do vanta Weita lono te kina na bika membaleta na nondom bula mai we ira na kanandau mai na tambana ni bula so nasi na puni wai Promover na bana kaloka na Vika Avenue City and a veto kone ni Lincoln Heritage Life Insurance. Na company ni Life Insurance kanga niti kanda na kaibiti Amerika.
Isando umbulu binaka. Dosen kay toki mai, endo binaka tu bangara.
Iyo, nimbula binaka. Kito singi toki bo sarangamay. Satu token dino Pennsylvania. May baka tumuli ang madoni turta na dadaka na tumbuni wayway. Iya, kito sa mista ka saranga nakaka na wakabiti. Kito rongoda, nito gay kendo na stonda ulit tagi kenda to kakana.
Iyo, na Fiji Cover Store. Ito ka sarangay liubori. Nakakede tukina. Na Fiji Cover Store. E kau te viti mai voka boleka ka voka se butaka na voka na nanu. Woli te kitu kina na tinika, tini bulu makau, Taka's Ice Cream, na mateni, na ika, na mbele. Yado kina chase ningu na ngona, na twisties, na bongo, kay na bean, kay na bunga tali. Sangay lebu saranga na ngona, kare ang ngona binakandina. Kay indolo mo talaga ango na Nondato Boutique. E woli te kina na isulu kanta kilaita ni kina daga nilinga, karao ni soli mo ilaloma. We kemuni mai Pennsylvania, kena vebu no wale kata. Erau talanga ni wakau tanga mai na nomani ota na telefoni se email, karatau nangai wakau tanga na nomando boli. Yana Fiji Cover Store LLC, 100 South Mount Vernon Avenue, Uniontown, Pennsylvania. Nabani telefoni vitu seba vitu, wadi orua vitu diwa vitu ono, se wandu lima tolu seba vitu, diwa rua vitu tolu, se email kena Fiji Cover Store PA@gmail.com.
Ngandreba na buke ene kena semi na libo seneges kita urani buke iko girita mai na empower ena ono rua ono saiba ndua liwa ono
Bola vinaka tinay Matthew, ni sawa kuskusibe.
Isa ni mbola vinaka ao se vivi mandongo kina maoli mat ele idaka kina endona nito pakataka kana lailai me le uku taka pakatotolo ni bernirto yave ani na bulangi.
Oi, o dea bakasanga.
Erto bakasanga telanga ora to sarara saranga go enda so mga nakakana eseni nita so manakena bakanga takina olo.
Oi, okay, binakasaraman da kilatiko.
Maulimad, Valley Marulima, Montgomery Drive, Suite 2 and 3, Santa Rosa, California. Veitartara sarani kina nabani telefoni 125 saiba vitu tolu 5 vitu. Ena kena itugu matalelai. Elevo tu na matanggali life insurance e Amerika. Kalevo talanga na kena itu. Iyan the Lincoln Heritage Life Insurance yang nitikan po binaka na ito kay kanta sa may mga tigo-tigo na bunole mo. Kaya wala may wangande, so sa may mga tigo-tigo tunday. O dami matitiko si Sen. Raw-raw sara na mga leofo. Katigo talaga na ilawi maruroy. Lincoln Heritage Life Insurance. Nakamba ni dundungan daw sa mga claim. And the loma ni rosa nga bulu kapana yawa kasama niya na lenga isang oti karuan na yung baki. Siko mo na website ko itong gori si TextBuy. Kinabasi mo walu-wandua, tolu-tolu-walu-lima, e na kinay tugu-tugu matay na lang. Lincoln Heritage Life Insurance.
Endona mate kuniti wale wabekenda mana wasa Pasifika na hepatitis B. Kuneini ndua mana wayatini corona leni bunua mana wasa Pasifika Amerike ni tobi rekti kuna matengo na hepatitis B. Ongoli wake na kenaroni betobi sena tobi kuna matini ngadangada se liver cancer. Endende mendo kila kesate bikwentiko. Mebakani sena sotini kene bakatakila kila se symptoms. Bakabo kesambimbi na mate. Mbimbi ngone kila mono bakandi kebi membaleta na hepatitis B. Peter mai kena telefoni 526 ono vituva 51watolu sesi kobana nondo to website www.sfhepbfree.org.
Nungu chisu nungu banua. Dorongo na vima mani ono kina vitu ene kawani bugululu ve kemada we California. Ve mani ruane kavi kina tolu ene singalewu ni lotilewu ve kemada we viti. E warotaka na New Methodist Christian Fellowship USA. Rongode na Radio Mbulando Vata San Francisco me kauti kenda vatamai. Radio Mbulando Vata me kauti kenda vatamai. Mai San Francisco ki burubura. Sema mai ngai waseyani.
Yes, and Thinking about you. I mean, I want to move on, but I can't move on. It's like you got some kind of hold on me. And, I mean, I don't know. But I'm going to go ahead and talk about it. Listen. I'm knowing that it couldn't be. Cause you ain't called, I ain't even appalled. I still got a lot of pain, I ain't getting whatever. Instead of staring out this glass, looking at this bad weather. Damn, I gotta pull myself together cause I'm so
Radio Bulan Dua Vata me kau ti kenda vata mai San Francisco ki bura-bura sema mai ngai wase yani.
Turang kena marama kena ngone leo skill ya turang kena tasa skill sambuli to ko bekenta sibto bekenta ono en walu na miniti radio bulan do bata me kau tiketa bata mai San Francisco ya sa te ko mendre tu ko malu melolo begitu ya sana go Baka binibinang tagi sung nabitoka din na kabri bing grabe din nai. Wasi tungan non to biokani and be ngono to sar ni do siama to mai kina se non daru biri mata tungango kla meninggai irong amai da samai bisa mai tuani do ngana like gai wasi tuani non to biokani lebih kapito do sarre ya apa binibinang tagi talchungan no munindo po chumbe non to no lomani vici kina be matin tutale so me bakata ki rtoma in Midlands my United Kingdom my pertanyoya be Kingsland nak na siya machumay en kabin ko nandun ngon legalanggo en ta sana baka namat no program waka madawa oya na nongo chisu na nongo banua andando rongo chikin nandro bagay bichiko o rauna lulu ni songo New Methodist Christian Fellowship yang tanggai reda na kami kuah saya na bagai be na kene rai yang tabu ni benak cukai na buku na to bito ko ni cukai na be kap to sar buku lulu to na song lotu New Methodist na non tabu no lomani bici bagai ni benak tak cukai bito kani bir na be kani rasia mencukai sar cuma bekan nanto wo cukai bin numi en sere belum nak be mariza lalang besi belum nak tahu nak na sia mencukai wata laki na nomuni kere cuko na ilabo ni ozi kwe sing ilabo mosi labo kachi mbalet ni ilabo mbunozi ya kere cuma na serwa ya en ekabi de bingarabi de ndai merto na numiki nerto na mati lawa ngo be merre la lama bulu bena ke merre wata laki na be mata rayawa ni bulu ke meni tali da raikoti bulu bena ke baka undono ni bosota ke baka unadala na yatan kona raikoti mai na ichuku boturanga mai korni kelo tali da raikoti ona numero tu talanga na brada sana raikoti oturanga ni balu na da chuku talanga na mati balu bakata lang akid no to small bro bagam di bina ironi rikoti to zurubu kete ni do tatango ni reda ngana tali de rikoti na sene mo na rikoti untuk bagana numero to sarga dan nongo bro kete ngo na may non to puno lomani bici non to bito kaditu nangoni zurubu belum naka ana teda arto ana ke teda to daga chuka nangonongo my Jordan Springs my Penrith apa butan ni bena numichuka o Miss Lalang besi Liverpool Sydney na kabina ni ko emosi na sibi binaka sa kabole muna siya machumai le me koroi nimbulo bena kia muni bakata laki na bitebi to sok ki baba langi ndo na ser men numero to na gangs mai no Wayne Rock Bay Resort mai serua bulo bena ka soko ke kiti bena ka siya machumai te na kabini ku na wanga egi joy binaka single le talangki na be solo turanga me muri bagno ni binaka talangai na ser men numikina o taka ke tabioka bengota o taka ke tabioka baka bina binaka tagi chuna bitokani andre ndir tukamba indana maramuni batu lelengo bulu binaka na usai bora na wakarawa my mountain view ani takisa ndona kasa andre ndir baka na bulu lebungo na kabina ngani ko baka bina binaka tagi chuna bitokani erto tuguna bango na ilabu ni ozi ko ilabu mosi ngobe kemuni malala ngabesi sianga ko sianga sucar mbangani mosi toto bengai toto kemuni toto kasarna nonda mai ozi ngome nomuni
Karena fitoni bosi Ilabuni ozi labo bosi bosi Ilabuni ozi labo bosi bosi
Totoka na domni bibo maro te kia to na kampu ni dele kande e na mbongi au mode onge na numi ke moni na ngona sa si weekend na ono e na rosa mulka vitu na miti sa vakata tanga weekend mente sa na rongo tama den don serre me sa tiniki non te programu kandola botelanga ni weekend o ya non te programu katarava o ya na nungu tisu nungu bonua robo kita bichikina tura ital talangasi atu neisa Bose adu bulono ki rangi di talangase receli bulono. Na songo New Methodist Christian Fellowship non te programu nungu tisu nungu bonua. Kentar ndor sana mabita tau nungu mandi kena ka binanga ni kua ni semberanga ni ngole na vaka mo mandanga bisona kanta rando pada chumengo be bakata ki kelera di navatu weka below naksa bole na sama chumai. Sing nuwe te talaki no tau lote meli na kabi ni kua bulo benaka. Wakata laki nabi LR metu sela na ulu bulu benaka jau le suma sei bora na ua karau hi kim ni tu sara ndo pata chuma na ka benaka ni kwa na nungu benaka chiko sa watchingo na nungu bogai tabi na runanga me sota ni mataka tapaka na matai ni na sokolo erto na bogai tabi kina weekenda New Methodist Christian Fellowship beko chikenda ni kina ngono ya ngo endo na ser mai berto na songo lotu di turanga zangiri na sole male voice choir sabakai diri na wasa ndaranga me sota na kabi ni mataka me tobo ngona ni bogai benaka ni samode.
Nongu Chisu Nongu Vanua. Warotaka na New Methodist Christian Fellowship USA and a Radio Bulandovata San Francisco me County Kenda Vatamai.
Program di Family Table Talk. Nakapagaling na naman yung mga lalong sa mga una. Yung naman yung pula, when yung bakarong may enabi matakalilay ni Marway, i-biti.
Wa mula tigo weekend na turangan na marama daru na nelewa. Ena sana tingawan ni ndo bonua. Wa mula tigo ani na program binango Family Table Talk. We bakarawai, we mama ni Vitu. Vital no takina na ka membalatan matubale na nondambula. Baka mani, baka tinani, baka biwatini, anything on the family. Doon nga na kami balit na matawale, kaya doon dami, vital noa, vi baka tatakidake, vi baka raramatak tal nga, nason na rin bulan to rin ni Bibu Kikina, nondang bulan to na bisinga, siya nga ni Roro ng bula, dari dito ko da sotakay ko na so na bole-bole, na rin bulan ni Bisaw sa rito ko kalibu na rin bulan da duruma, bako siguro na naitamuhan ni. Au sabang mulit tu kanin non tapon noloman obiti, ate utang amay na sana baturang olaw, kau drobin boki maduatan ni mula binaka. Sana baturang orawa te ba, o nan rawa te kina bosa seru te kina mosi, taile bote kina tasiri. Ni mula binaka reo bote kilo mai viti, sini ule dawe kinto mai na sana baturang o kandamu. Wiya ni anu diriawa diriwaleka, sabang mulit tu kani, ni mataka ni singa dai. Au kila ninge uti tungo na muni mata on palabu kita uti wa nesa sabara tunge listel tungo mai na singa lo tuli mga sege uti go dune tungo na sere kini buli da baka bini kina baka lewu na turanga na ide muni bula bi maru itu na kalon non da bula roni kenda yana tala mai kina na mataka ni singa ni kuwa na ikachini kalima ni singa ni bula oktoba aruna undolu rosa bulgaru sa may bi mama tal tungo na bulo ko toba sa asiro tal tu sabonga ngo na November ginan December menda da batala ni bisa be ronondolu rusa bulga tolu kero kan ni binaka tugani rakini bula da mga kenda na tuwa kina na bi bukitu weekend na non da turang na klulewu and siga anwa to those of you that are not okay speakers that you normally watch this program, we take this time to greet you and to welcome you into this program, 7:30 Family Table Talk. All about family and all about the things that we go through, the reality of this life from a family point of view. So whatever we share may be encouragement or enlightenment to families, couple, those that are struggling financially or even relationship, that nothing is impossible. We just have to think positively and try to do our best because today will never come again. Yesterday is gone, but tomorrow is yet to come. So whatever we do in this life, we do it to the best of our ability. And I believe most of us that we were in the western side, we enjoyed the finals of the deans from under 14 right up to under 18, including under 19, and the girls. We enjoy the game in Churchill Park in Lautoka, and I believe that some will enjoy, some will we could have, but let be bygone be bygone. Look forward to another 2023, and especially the last term of the year 2022, I will focus on academics to all our children that they must achieve well this year 2022.
Yeah, well, looking back at 2022, like we've always reminded for you to step and look back, because when we don't look back, then we continue to live the way that we are living and continue to think that everything is good. But if you look back, say for the 10 months, even though we are on to the 10th month, just for you to have a quick assessment of how far you have come. If you have been sick, how good have you been keeping your health or your diet or the requirement that you have been given by the doctor? And not only for yourself, but also check your family. If one of them is suffering from something that you have been nursing over the year. And not only in the health, but also check in your finances, how far you have changed from what you used to do before, and what have you managed to save, and for Christians or for believers, on how you have managed your finances in acknowledging God, like in terms of your tithe or the different things that come from your own denominations. And not only the tithe or the little thing that you help out in the church, maybe the, giving in funds into the missionaries, or cooking food for the widows, and helping out with the orphans, all those little things. If you can just have a quick assessment on how you have managed so far, now that we are on to the 10th month of the year, which leaves us only with the 2 months remaining for us to say last year. 2022 now will become last year. Other than the, because we are moving forward to the 2023. And like I, for once, if I look back and I say, oh, the year has really gone so fast, that some of the things that I've written from the beginning of the year to achieve, I still haven't achieved them, which means I have to work a little bit more extra hard or more smarter to be able to achieve that. So it's a good reflection, just to reflect back on the 10 months. And if you say to yourself from the beginning of the year, oh, I can push myself to save this amount of money every month that I don't really need, that I just use it for unnecessary things. And but if you resort back to using those funds in doing whatever you have been doing, and you haven't managed to save, or you did so for a few months and then you just stop doing it, maybe this is time. I mean, it's never too late. 2 months is a lot of time if you really manage every week and every day well. And it's a good time just to stand and check back. We've had our conversation, like for us, it's our grandchildren who are still going to school. And we always have this Thursday, like every Thursday of the week, we call it the student council. Our youngest student is in class 4, who is Sunday. So that particular night, when we have our devotion, we turn it around to be the student council, and we get to hear all of them. So they can talk about what they lack in school, the subject that they're struggling with, the kind of meals that they take, the ones that last until lunch, the one that is not really nice to be taken to school, but it's nice for them to have it at home. So it's like a good conversation that we can hear directly from them, other than asking them the question, are you opening a lunchbox and the lunch is still not used? And you're asking all those questions, why you never eat your lunch? But when they give those kind of feedback, it helps. It gives a good communication for all of us that whatever that we prepare, they're going to eat it well. And now we've just had ours because they were really into rugby, and now the dance is done. So the conversation changed a little bit. Before it was full of rugby, or 50% of rugby, or 25% of rugby. But now it's like, okay, straight after that, when we have our devotion, we were still in the western side, we started reminding them. School, the next term is full of exam. We have 2 that are in year 12, 1 that in year 10 for external examination. So, we start reminding them. Now when you're going back to school, we need you to bury your head in your books. We need to, the same passion that you have towards rugby, preparing things, fasting, praying, all those efforts and strength that you have given towards the extracurriculum, which is rugby for these boys. We are encouraging them, use the same passion in everything, but towards your academics. Because those results, once you sit to your exam and you go past the year, you cannot undo them. And you cannot go back and change those marks. And I remember, and I was sharing with them about my brother. I have 3 brothers. I have this particular brother. He's quite smart. They went to Bar Methodist School, and they stay in the hostel. So on the first school year of his year 12, he wasn't really happy with his marks. So he had to go back and sit another school year, which he didn't finish because he came out and worked. And I was sharing with them, when you do it well now and your mind is focused, write down the marks that you know that you need to achieve. And if you look at your subject, I'm talking to you students that are listening to us today, or sitting together with your family, or parents that we can help our children to achieve. So I will just get them look through their marks on their previous exam. They said, okay, if you look at that mark, say if you get 60, and you look at your papers, and you say to yourself, like I got 60 because I just don't understand the question, or I don't understand what they're talking about, or you say to yourself, those are just mistakes that I could have gone without it. I shouldn't have made those mistakes. And if they're, really good mistakes, and you say to yourself, okay, how much point is that? Which is about 10 to 20. And if it's 10 to 20, then you can tell yourself, oh, I can score 80 the next time if I'm more careful, or if I revise well. And then don't just look at the subject and give up and say, oh, I don't really like the subject, or I don't like the teacher. Like you look at this particular subject that you're doing, and you've already given up. Don't. And I always encourage my grandsons or my grandchildren, look at the same thing. And I started doing this for my children. Now they have their own families. And I'm beginning to do the same thing with my grandchildren. And I said, no matter what it is, that subject, you still need to sit on your exam. And if you apply for a job, or if you put out in your CV, when they look at their marks, they couldn't care less who was the teacher or the situation that you go through. A mark is a mark. Marks gain is a mark that's going to be there on your certificate throughout your life that you cannot change. So when you look at those challenges, you challenge yourself, how can you look at it in a more positive way? Or if you lack the understanding of the subject that you're going through, what kind of help do you need? So I encourage them to tell me the kind of help. So I organize tutorial, ask their teacher if they're willing, to be paid extra to have those few hours. Or I rub it off, speak with other people on what is available out there. So there are always ways and means that we as parents or grandparents, that we can help our children. More so now that we're coming towards the end of the year, and most of our children are sitting external exam. Other than just waiting for them to achieve at the end of the year, and like you're not happy with the result that they bring, maybe this is the time that we can invest a little bit more time to help them through and discuss with them the areas that they need help on.
Yeah, I think it's very important, the role of parents or guardian, by reminding them and pushing them.
Yeah.
It's our duty to push them. It's our duty to remind them. Most of the students, they have interest here and there, but it is our duty.
Yeah, to be distracted.
This time in school will never come again.
Yeah.
So we need to remind them of the importance of the marks for their future, their work, because universities, they have limits
entry marks
and requirements. So it is our duty to check their homework, check their assignment, or even some projects that they have. And that's why it's good to get involved in their school. We were blessed because ever since our children went to school back in Nandi Airport Kindergarten, Nandi Airport Primary, and Siribakanan College, and JASPA, or International for Elijah, we continue to be part of the school. And I believe even those commitment to the school work and be seen in school with the teachers or with management, it's boost our children to do well.
Because you're part of
what they're doing. When we go out in numbers for Coca-Cola in athletics, in sports, or rugby, the same that we should do in academic. Because there is a moral and encouragement when they see their parents or somebody from home, they are part of what they're doing. And the challenges today, they are most of the students, they come away from school, or they step school, or they make excuse not to go to school. So if we are not careful in supporting them, being with them, then they are vulnerable to follow otherwise the things that we don't want to talk about in school. Just like when we encourage people to go to church and live a good life, the same thing that we must do as we send our children to school. Because once they finish with the school, all those marks will remain. You can't
follow the way they go.
In universities, you can do it again, but in school, once you pass that school years, it will be very difficult. And sometimes, people go back when they are 20s and 30s, but people who would rather go through and do their best while they're still in school. So we are encouraging parents and guardians that we must be beside our children when they are in school at the moment because of the challenges. As I said before during our introduction, the world today is very, very different from the time in the 60s and the 70s and the 80s and the 90s. Now we are in the 21st century, is totally different ball game altogether. So the more we are part of them in their school, in their results, and even their parenting, PTI, their meetings, we must find out how they are doing in school. Because the earlier we find out, then it will be easy to help and to make some correction. It will be difficult when they've been part of what they are doing and we don't realize it from home, and it will be difficult to change them. So it's a big challenge, and we are encouraging all the parents that you are watching this morning. For you overseas that you are watching this program, Australia, New Zealand, America, and the UK or other parts of the world, it'll be totally different. And you know exactly what we are talking about. In Fiji, we are still blessed that we are still have some part of our culture that assist us to nurture our children. To be a good student.
Just take us back to when we had this conversation with that group of girls back in England. Like for them, when they're 18, they are leaving home, starting their life, going to work, apart from studies. It's sort of like by the age of 18, you have your independence to, continue with your life. And this particular young girl, she mentioned, I don't really want to leave home. The valley weekend na kaivite, that alita kami na tikong ganyan bagitin college and baking one is sarang weekend. Can the more on the bakasama when you're 21 and then you're ready to leave home. But if you're anything younger than that, it's sort of like you're still clinging to your parents. And when she was mentioning that, the mother was sharing with us. Then the mother said, you don't really need to leave. You don't really need to leave home. And then she said, but everybody else is doing it. You need to leave home by 18. Pay for your own place and have your own life. Do your studies, but work at the same time. And those are the things that that is applicable to our children outside Fiji. And Vale Vivek David, like if you talk about 17, 18, that's very young. And you talking about the 12 and the 13, and even before going to university. So non-matured when they are with us at home, it takes longer because they're always depending on parents, they're always depending on their family and their relatives. And most of the time, when they move on with their life or after study or when they go to work, it takes a while for them to be mature to manage themselves because they are so used to being looked after or managed by parents or adults. And I believe it's an advantage maybe to countries outside Fiji that you get to do that because it's part of their law. And for Fiji, that's why I would think it takes a while for our children to be matured because we're always running their lives for them. And some I see, they have the tendency, even if they're staying with their parents, they are already matured. But some of the children, if you're listening to me today, like when you lose your mom or you lose your dad, automatically you become responsible. And that makes you to be more matured. Like you look at the same thing like everybody else does, or everybody of your age would be, but you look at it in a totally different way because of the circumstances of your upbringing or the situation that you've gone through. So the maturity, we've always talked about it. I share a lot about maturity because we go to church, and I grab the opportunity to share with them, like when you're matured, the way you look at life is totally different. And then when you go to church, you trust in God to give you that maturity and wisdom to be able to be wise in all your decision making, which means it can be your personal life, it can be your school life, it can be your social life, it can be anything else about your life as an individual. And that is why, like for those of you that go to church, it's very important for you to trust God to lead you that way. And for those of you who do not believe in God, then it becomes like the word for you would be maturity. The word for people who go to church because they trust God will be wisdom, because we believe that that wisdom is not something that you can learn or taught in a university or taught in any a subject in the school curriculum, but it's something that is given by a higher power, supernatural power, by God, if you're a believer. But if you're not, then the word becomes maturity, like you're more matured. You look at the same thing, you're matured. Like, say if I come and I give $10 each to youth or to children, maybe they're sitting on their 17, on their 18. The way that if I look at them, the way that they spend their money or the way that they go and use that money for, shows me their maturity or their wisdom on how they manage those funds given. So it can be money that I'm talking about, but it can be other material things. It can be your school books, the way you manage them. So you become more matured. And back to what I've just mentioned, when you come from a family that struggles, like you don't have things easy, or you lose your parents earlier than the normal, that makes you, those are circumstances that makes you more matured. I believe for me, I could say that I became more matured earlier in my age because I lost my dad when I was only 13 years of age. And the circumstances of my upbringing is totally different from a normal Itoke family that has aunties. Happen to you, at least you have this support system around you that you can go and stay with an uncle, or you can go and stay with an aunt, or even stay with your grandmother. And Fijians or Itoke have got a very good support system when it comes to that, because there are always people there to look after you if something doesn't go your way. And for mine was totally different because we are always a private family. When my father passed on, that leaves my mom and us. So it made me more matured. I was the youngest in the family. I was only in year 9, but it makes me more matured. I look at things in a different way because at the back of my head, I'm always thinking, no one is there. No one is there to support me. Even though I have my brother who's looking after my fees and looking after my upbringing and helping my mom financially. But I don't want to rely on it all the time, because sometimes he's there, sometimes he's not there, because he's got a life of his own as well. So growing up in that kind of circumstances make me more matured. And now that I look back, I started work when I was only 16 years of age. I left the first term of year 12. And I got married when I was only 18 years of age. Not only I got married when I was 18, I even bought a car when I was 19. And the life moved on from there until what I am today. So I look at things in a totally different way compared to normal people, the way they look at it. I look at saving from a very young age, and it becomes my life until today. So the circumstances that you're going through, you may have suffered through that system, or maybe you miss your parents because they have to leave you earlier, or they go their separate ways, either they pass on, or they may move on and have their own families. Sometimes when you're brought up in those kind of circumstances, it makes you more mature than the normal, because you're always looking at the same thing, but you're anticipating no one is going to be there for me all the time. This is my only time, and if I'm receiving this, I might as well use it in a better way or a proper way that will help me or help my siblings in years to come. And we get to hear about testimonies or older youth sharing, or even young couples, that when they grew up and things happened in their family, they became like the mother and the father because of their status in the family, being the elders. They become so responsible for the remaining members of the family or their siblings, and sometimes they forego their university studies, or they forego the good things in their life, and they sacrifice that, for their siblings. And it made them more responsible and more matured, and they look at life totally different. And I believe back in your years, maybe it's still happening now, on how people leave the village and you're being asked, and they usually hold back one of the children to stay with them or to look after them. Or you say to yourself, I can't, I have to look after my parents. And you sacrifice things of your life. And few stories that I've heard, for few people who have done that, the blessing that comes with it, because they made a stand to honor their parents, or they forego the good things of their life. Or you may be one of those that are listening to us today, and you've given up on a lot of things of your life to make, to be able to make it work for your family or for your siblings, or different circumstances that you're in. And sometimes you cry alone because no one is there to help you. And sometimes like you want to give up on life because you felt the burden on you is too much compared to the age that you were in, And sometimes, like you don't even look forward to life because of those
I guess when we face with environment that are not conducive, or the environment that are very challenging, it's the way that we look at things. If we remain positive and we are adamant, confident that there is something good out there, there's something good out there, it makes you grow fast in maturity, or what we call, you will have a lot of wisdom, because you are not looking at the circumstances or the challenges or the difficult environment that you go through. You are hoping and believing that something good is out there. I believe it's that mindset. That mindset creates that wisdom and confidence.
And then it pushes you
to achieve. So regardless what you're facing, if your mind is set, if your mind is determined, and for us believers, that's what we call faith. In the world, we call it positive attitude. But if we are a believer, we have that the advantage that we are relying, that we know that there is a supernatural, that He can do miracle, signs and wonders. So the challenge is out there in the world, and it must be shared to our children or to our grandchildren and to the younger generation while we are on it, while we have the opportunity to do the best. We must strive for the best. Because out there, something good will come our way. But if we are just thinking of gloomy and doom, then
you're already given up.
You already given up. You haven't started the battle. You already lost the war. So it's a challenge on family talk like this. That you can do it. You can achieve. There's something good out there. There's the word that we normally use it today, to be resilient on things that we, regardless what we're doing, whether in the village, whether in the village or in urban centers, or we are from overseas, that we can do it. Around, it can be done. Nothing is impossible, and it's a challenge to every families out there, every single parent out there, every young people out there, regardless of what you're going through now or what you start to see that is on the horizon, that it can be done. You just do your best. As I said before, in the secular world we call it positive attitude. But for those that believe in God, we call it faith. And when we have that, what a wonderful place the world.
Because when you have a positive attitude or positive energy, it attracts positivity to your life.
You continue to speak good things. You continue to smile. You tackle every day with a positive attitude, regardless of the result that you face so many days. You continue to look for better days to come, and those kind of positive attitude attracts a positive result. There's a saying says, whatever you confess, you shall possess. Your confession comes because of the positive.
You believe that it can happen in your life.
You know the logic is, you know the fact that is already negative, but because you believe because you think, because you are determined.
Yeah.
And you can change the situation, regardless whether you're in the village, regardless whether you're still a student or you're out there working. As long as you have a positive attitude, then your mind will drive your body to
I think it takes us back on the importance of the attitude, eh?
Yeah.
Because you can have everything good, it can be all provided for you, but if your attitude is not right, then the achievement level is very low. And the situation may be not to your liking, very negative, lack in so many ways, but if your attitude is good, it's amazing how it can turn out to be. That is why, like for most children, I always share about my grandchildren because they are realistically, what's happening in my life. And I've always said this to them: look, you have your study corners, you have a bed to sleep on, and you have meals on the table. There are not any day that you're looking around not having any food, or you're looking for food. There's always meals. And you have school sandals to wear to school. You have your uniform. You have everything that it takes to be able to achieve the best in your school. So I can provide you all these things to help you and provide a support system for you to be able to achieve well. But at the end of the day, it's your attitude. And that's what I always tell my grandsons. It's your attitude. Because I can be doing all these things and even go and organize to print out past year's exam papers. And if I had got them printed and put them in the file according to the subject and leave it here, it's your attitude. Because I should be the one to come and remind you, okay, you do that, you do that. But when you have a positive attitude and you're responsible for it, you will push yourself because everything is provided. And they have a very, very close friend. Joshua has got a very, very close friend. He's got friends, one who lives with us, just like we treat him like Joshua or like one of my grandchildren. He's been with us for years, and his name is Carlos. He's got another best friend of his, and he goes to QVS, and he stays in the hostel. And for Junior, this friend of his, he does very well. He comes out with excellent results for his schoolwork. And I've always used that situation for them, they're like this scenario, and share it with them. Look, you have it all good. You come home at your own leisure, at your own time. You choose when to study or when to eat or whether you rest a bit. All those things, you have those options. And there's never a day that you can turn to me and say, Nana, I like this, or Nana, I need this. Or even the time when you tell me for me to say to you that I won't be able to provide, which I try my best to. And this is Junior. He stays in the hostel. There's certain time for them to wake up, and they cut the grass. The meals that they eat is for everybody. And there's always time for everything. Time to study, time to go to sleep, time to have their meals. With all those things that he goes through as a normal boarder or as a normal hostel a student, and you have yours here, and if he's able to come and produce that result with those circumstances, I challenge you. I always pose that question to them. Now with everything that you have and everything that is provided and everything, the support system is very good, then you need to ask yourself, what can I do? Is this the best that I'm doing? And if I'm looking at their results from their tests, and if they do good, like in the 80s and 90s, and said, that's very good, but what can stop you from getting more? It's very good. And if you look back, if you look at your mistakes, what can you do that you can improve? Or you just got it wrong because you don't know, or you got it wrong because of a mistake that you made that you can avoid it. So those are the questions that I take them through. And if you really, really score low, then is that your best? And I challenge them as much as possible. So like what I said, before this school term emerging up again from Tuesday, we've had our talks last week. By Thursday, I start talking to them about these things. And by Wednesday night when we have our devotion, and I say to them, now you can enjoy whatever that you're doing your games, have your gadgets, have your phones. We're having fun together as a family, swimming in the pool. But by next week, I will take all these gadgets out and I will need you to focus on your schoolwork. And if anything, I'm going to be there to support you. And this goes to parents. We all love our children. We all love our grandchildren. And most times we are so busy with every other things that we're doing. I could say, like for me, yeah, I'm busy. I go to work every day. And I also have a church that I'm so involved in. And I have this big extended family. So with all that, I will not use it as an excuse that I'm not able to spend time with them or go through their school results or have the moment of discussion with them. So if you haven't had the opportunity to do that over the school year, now it's October, please spend some time with your children to sit with them or your grandchildren and just be part of what they're going through, just like what Gaselevo is just sharing with us this morning. And this is to you students. If you know that you have a very good support system from home, don't just throw it away or don't, don't just casually treat it like, so, okay, I'm supposed to be having this anyway. My parents are supposed to be doing this anyway. You need to take whatever that is being given and provided and have that gratitude in your heart. It's not, oh, I thank my mom and dad in providing this facility for me. I thank my mom and dad in sending me to school. There's never a time that I run out or my bus, my transport card doesn't have any money in it. It's always enough funds